Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had an amazing holiday season and enjoyed your New Year's. We are now in 2026. This is a very exciting time. And to kind of kick off 2026, I have some new messages coming in from avian beings. If you don't know who the avians are, they are a hybrid race of humanoid and bird. And they are higher dimensional beings. They haven't specifically told me what dimension they're from, but I'm picking up intuitively from the 5th or 6th dimensions. And they just started coming in for me, probably about maybe in November. I've never worked with avians before. I actually had my own kind of pivotal upgrade or expansion in beginning of October of 2025. And since then, there's been a lot more higher dimensional beings coming in and connecting with me and working with me. It's an exciting time. And the reason they're using me to obviously connect into the collective, to make sure everyone gets these messages. Since we are at a time of great expansion, energetic-wise, we are tipping the scales with the denser energies, and we are now shifting the reality. They specifically go into talk about this concept of what the new earth is, and what we're shifting into. Also, we are going to be having more and more connection with higher dimensional beings, and eventually we will have physical contact. So they explain how that will work. I wanted to give this intro to kind of lead you in, because the messaging just really goes straight into kind of messaging that they want to relay. And they talk about, actually, I'm trying to think, I don't think in this initial video, but avians, all higher dimensional beings have kind of a specialty or kind of strengths that they really utilize within the universe. So unlike humans, where we're supposed to have, we're supposed to be strong in all these skill sets, the foundation of how humans work is set on that, our education system. Our workplaces, our corporations expect everyone to be, strong in every skill set. And in education, all the kids need to be getting A's and strong in everything. And if they're not, there's, learning disabilities. That is definitely a dense mindset, and it actually creates suffering and challenge for us. And that is something as well that we're going to be tapping into more and more as we go into the new now moments, because we're going to be revolutionizing how we support humans, how we educate humans, how humans learn, especially with Uranus moving into Gemini this year. So the avians' specialty is they are messengers. They are holders of information. And it's also manifested in this 3D reality with our own bird species. I think it's common knowledge. Birds obviously sing, they provide messages. They are also messengers, and we use them historically to send messages or letters across long distances. And that's exactly what the avians do. And our personal birds are just, again, a manifestation of the avians. And so they, of course, ask us to be responsible, protect our birds, see and appreciate what they have to offer. And that's everything in this reality. So this is really exciting messaging coming in. It kind of took me even about 24 hours to really sit with the information and digest it. But it just started blowing my mind more and more as it kind of settled in. And I really was like, wow, like this is huge. And this is pivotal for me and obviously all of you. So if you came across this message, there is a reason the avians brought you to this, and you are meant to hear this because it is time for you. Just listening to the message, they also indicate is increasing your vibrational frequency. It's changing your DNA. And you are really, the information is being downloaded into your mind, your body, your energy field, to shift you. So exciting times. It is a bit long, so you may have to listen to it in chunks, but the messages that come are seem to just keep coming and coming. I already have another message that will be exciting for that I'll put out a couple days after this. And that is specifically starting to give us tangible exercises to do to help us. And yeah, these are going to continue to flow. So there's going to be, I don't know how long these will come. They may keep coming for the whole year. I'm just going along with when they want to connect with me and have information, and I'm relaying it out to you guys, which is what they want me to do. So enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment what the information meant to you, how you're resonating with it, what it, and kind of how you're shifting moving forward. But hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you in the next video. There's many themes for 2026. There's not just one overall theme or even two, there's many. Yes, there are many synchronicities happening at this time. And yes, the lesson in miracles is one. For you need to learn more about miracles and how to align with miracles and live from a place of miraculous ignition. Meaning, in your eyes, something that cannot be understood, but something that happens unexpectedly in ways that are outside of your awareness or your purview of knowing that it could happen. Miracles are part of the 3D, an expression of your divine, your divinity. And it's when you are aware to this concept and that you are a divine match to miracles, because it is the natural flow of energy and unfoldment of the physical. It's an unfoldment of an experience that has already been created in the ethers. They are answers to problems. They are dreams and desires. They are wish fulfillment. They are resolution to challenges and suffering, to being in dire straits and to having support or a solution. So this will be a year for this to be an area of focus. We recommend you even write the word down, miracles, and have it in front of you throughout the day. Just having the word and seeing it and reading it and having it register within your mind will keep you focused on miracles, trusting and allowing and opening to them. We can forget that miracles can be an everyday thing, a standard experience in the 3D. But humans don't believe that and are not conditioned to align with miracles in every step they take, in every thought they take, in every action they take, is to expect miracles and be open and know that miraculous things can happen every day. Miracles are unexpected, they are sudden, they are things that happen instantly, that don't need to be drawn out or figured out. It is the divine dropping in your lap the very thing that you need or want in that moment in time. They are answers to problems, solutions to problems. This is a year of alchemy, and miracles is a lesson on alchemy. This isn't just becoming aware and learning to get to an outcome, to a destination. It is to open yourself up in the allowance to experience this now moment at its highest potential, to reach the highest potential in every now moment. And when you can reach the highest potential in every now moment, there is never a destination, there is never an end point, an end game, or something that you're always striving for, because in this moment, if you are following your excitement in this moment, if you are following your bliss in this moment, if you're following the guidance of your soul and what it yearns for in this moment, and if you follow all of that in every single moment, you are opening yourself up to the highest potential in any given moment. And to reach the highest potential opens you up to the unlimitless, to the impossible, to allowing and opening yourself up to all of the things that we consider to be a final destination. For example, happiness, love, bliss, wealth, abundance, health. You can open yourselves up to all of this in this now moment, and in the next moment, and in the next moment. And then you learn and start to live out of a place of this where most of the time you are now living in this place, instead of the opposite, where you're only experiencing this in brief moments sprinkled throughout your life. And it's because the human mind is always projecting out some vision, some dream that they consider to be their happiness. They consider to be wealth, or they consider it to be something that is not in this now moment. It is something outside of themselves. It is something off in the future. So then they strive, they think upon, they try to figure out, they try to make a goal, figure out how to work towards it, how to do themselves to that. And then they try and take it in their hands to control and do day-to-day tasks, to strive to get to another destination, or to get this thing, or this person, or this vision that is not in the now moment. So all of this, you tie yourself, when you think of happiness and bliss and wealth or love, you have a vision of a picture of something external that equates to this. So for example, wealth. Each individual will have a number in their head of the amount of money that they would need to have to feel or to equate to wealth or to be rich. And then they have the acknowledgement, or to them the truth, that that is not the amount I have right now, so I am not wealthy. I am not rich. And rich and wealth is outside of themselves. So again, it's always something that is not in this now moment. And for most humans, you would say, well, I have to see it or experience it to believe it. So if I don't have it right now, You cannot tell me that I am wealthy and rich because I know I'm not. And that is the distortion that you've been programmed with. It is the distortion and the program and the manipulation of the human mind to make themselves always only believe in the tangible, only in the things they can taste, touch, feel, or see. But then what's interesting is, depending on someone's credentials or job title, they'll believe whatever that person has to say. So it's contradictory. And that's why we are going through this major shift. We are going through this age of enlightenment, this age of ascension, so you guys refer to in the physical. It is the age of awakening back up to who you really are, to how this 3D physical reality really functions, and how you can navigate in this 3D physical reality in a new way and relate to the physical in a new way, so you thus then create a new earth. You create a heaven on earth. You create a completely new reality. And that is where each one of you is on this plane creating a reality in every moment. So yes, you can create a reality at the same time that someone else is creating their own reality, which could contradict. So you could be living and believing in a reality that is more utopian than someone else. So essentially, you're living all different realities at the same time. You're seeing a world and living through different experiences that align again with your program in your relation to the physical. It is all understanding the truth to this physical reality, and that you can utilize and have the power and the knowledge and wisdom to utilize alchemy to create reality in every now moment. And the benefit of the physical, which is a reality or dimension of time and space, is of utmost advantage to you. You might see time and space as something that enslaves you. You could see it as something that limits you, and that you're stuck in this place between a past and a future, and cannot conceptualize the idea that there is no past or future, because in a time-space reality, in your mind, because you have a sense, a memory of the past, and a connection to the past experiences, you thus then see it as a reality. But the future is a void. A future is a blank book. And you could also be misguided to think that the future is already created for you, and you are just at the whim of some story that was already pre-written, that you are enslaved to and must experience which obviously in that theory, you have no power. You have no will power. You have no free will, and thus are disconnected. Disconnected from source, disconnected from the matrix. And the other thing, the distortion of this belief that the matrix is bad and the matrix is again something you're enslaved to, that you're stuck in. But the matrix, which is your reality, is of your creation. So since it is your creation, you have just been disconnected or put asleep or don't remember the rules, and you don't remember how to utilize the matrix. And that is the beauty of coming into the physical reality. As you come in, choosing to not know and to be asleep and to be unawakened to these facts. And the point of this reality is to awaken back to yourself, to your knowledge, to your wisdom, and your connectedness to all, and learn the rules of this 3D reality. So then you can use it and play. You can use it to connect. You can use it to create and to experience the highest vision of yourself, to reach your highest potential in this form, this physical body, in this physical, yes, per human viewpoint, in this period, this time and place. And yes, all this may seem very confusing when you're haven't fully awakened to a certain level, to a certain frequency. But as you awaken, and even in these words, these vibrational messages, this vibrational energy is awakening you as we speak more and more, increasing your vibration, increasing your frequency. And that's when, as you have heard, your greatest breakthroughs are going to be through some of your greatest hurdles or greatest challenges. And it's not the challenge of that you have to go through hardship or suffering or challenge. The key is your vibration, your vibration is literally expanding, is increasing to new levels, to where the life you are living, or the physical reality you are living, or the physical aspects of it that don't align with the new frequency, it's the awareness of being open to the flow and surrender to allow these things to shift and change and drop away. And that is where the suffering begins, is seeing it as a loss, or seeing it as a disconnection, seeing it as a death. But when you can see it through the eyes of the divine, which you are, you see it as opportunities, and you see it as a celebration of the expansion into new levels for you to reach new higher potentials of experience and reality. And we hold on to things. The humans, again, have been conditioned with fear and conditioned with insecurities. Feeling like they have been programmed to hold on to things because they've been shown and programmed to believe the world is unstable and the world is not a safe place. And we understand that, but it is the distortion, it is the key, it is the distortion that has created a reality filled with things that do cause disconnection, and that do cause harm, and that do cause suffering, and that do cause, all the greatest fears that you could think of. The only reason why they exist in the physical is because someone was programmed with it and created it into the reality of the matrix through their own mind. Everything that has been experienced was first created within. Nothing can be experienced in the physical without it being created within. So if you see the creation around you, and if it is not in alignment with what you want to experience or who you want to be, that is the new awareness of the dissonance and the conflict within the collective, within the individuals. Duality is not to be experienced or seen as a good and bad, or a right and wrong. Duality is an expression of the whole. And when you can see that duality is truly the divine expressing itself in all its facets, to come back into union, to the void, you view duality in such a different way. And then you start to see that these aspects of duality that you used to say were bad, or you used to say is not you, or you used to condemn or judge or fear, is actually divinity expressed. And no matter what you see in the physical, to get to a mindset to see that everything in existence, everything in the physical is an expression of the divine. It is the freedom and the liberation of the consciousness of all that is, to create and to express and to be in any given moment. But as you navigate this, it is for you just to decide, is this me? Is this not me? Is this something I want? Or is this something I don't want? And then you navigates you into the next now moment. If it's something you're experiencing that you do not want, then make a new decision. Open yourself to miracles and the unfoldment of the divine. And then it's just the surrender and allowance of more things of what you want to experience to unfold miraculously. And the more you can do this, the more that things externally are not going to impact you as much as they did when you were more unconscious. Because when you only live in the physical reality, everything in the physical is going to control how you feel, think, what you decide, how you view yourself, how you view others, how you relate. And that is the complete wrong way to live in this reality, because you are completely disconnected to your truth and your power, and you have lost complete freedom and are enslaved to the physical reality. But that is a distortion and a conflict of the mind that is not true, because that is not how we are meant to live and experience this reality. And that's where we disconnect from the matrix. We live in the matrix. We are not enslaved to it, and we now have complete control. And at this divine time, you are also being awakened to new information of how to utilize your divine self and your divine frequencies and the wisdom of higher dimensions to do things instantaneously, to heal instantaneously, to manifest instantaneously, to create instantaneously, to change instantaneously. And you don't have to go through painstaking experiences and wade through the mud for long periods of time to figure it out, to resolve things, to create a better life, to make a new decision, to end something and start something new. It all doesn't have to take as much time as you have known. But the reason is because we've hit a threshold of frequency within the earth plane. So now you have the availability of these energies and these frequencies to create and to be almost, we are merging the 3D and the 4D energies. So essentially you're living in a 3D reality, but you have the power of the 4D within you in the connection to the 4D to experience more 4D things and to create from a 4D level and to heal from a 4D level and to connect with higher dimensional beings and energies. You have already reached this threshold. And that is why in this now moment, you are experiencing more synchronicities and more miracles and gaining more wisdom and information instantaneously and downloads instantaneously and seeing the shift in the reality faster than you ever have. And it will continue to gain momentum. And this is a complete new beginning energetically within the earth plane. Right here, right now. And you can harness this new energy right here, right now. And you are going to be brought the information you need right here, right now to shift and change now. And now all of you can open yourself up to now expect miracles and expect the information and expect more faster enlightenment, major breakthroughs. And now you just expect it now. You expect it all day, every day. And yes, it can happen. The old mindset of, oh, I am having a breakthrough, or I'm having some major download, but oh, maybe this will, again, per your past perspective or experience, oh, maybe I'll have one in a month or two, or maybe my path of expansion will last 20 years. My path of healing needs to last 20 years, or I need to be on a path of healing my whole entire life. And actually this concept of I have to learn lessons this whole entire lifetime doesn't have to be true. That's where we are here now to tell you are a completely different reality, because the frequencies, the balance of frequencies have shifted. And you are shifting the density. And just because others have not yet become awakened, or still living from a dense perspective, or still living a very dense reality, doesn't mean that you have to. There can be two truths happening at any given moment. That's why this whole idea of a truth is perspective. And it changes and morphs and shifts based on the perspective. So people throw around this word truth all the time. But truth is in the eye of the beholder. And so truth in one perspective doesn't exist. There is just what is in this now moment for you and what you're experiencing. Because in the eye of the universe, there is no one truth. There is no truth. So we leave you with this. But we go back to where we started with this, speaking of miracles. And expect them, surrender to a path that has been unpaved. And that is why a lot of you are looking forward right now into a future that feels very unknown, that feels like a void. This is a common experience right now because we've hit, like we said, the threshold of frequency where before the future was projected from your past experience. It was defined and molded and defined off of the limitless experience that you've had thus far. But you're at the threshold of a completely new experience unfolding in the next now moment, in the next now moment. And you cannot project now from a place of the physical past because the past does not exist anymore. And anything tying you energetically to a past, you have been working through disconnecting from. So it truly is a complete and utter restart and reset for you listening. For those of you that were brought to this message, this applies to you. And know that we, from a divine perspective, have synchronistically brought you to this information and message at this now moment, because this applies to you. So there is a lot of unease within the mind, within the body, within the emotions, because there's nothing to grasp hold of. There's nothing to bring you some sense of security or comfort. This is a place in unknown territory. And of course, because you're in the physical 3D, that brings up a lot of conflict, a lot of anxieties, fears. But no, it is because you're not being able to deflect and create off of a past knowingness or past experience, because we are now paving a path in every now moment to unfold a new highest potential that has never been created. And one that applies where new rules apply. And you're learning them as we go. And that is why we are here. And that is why more higher dimensional beings are coming through and connecting. And our presence will become stronger and stronger, more physical and physical. Because we are merging again as we once were. We are now clearing energy portals across the planet that have been shut down, that have been blocked by dense energy. These were portals that we used to connect the 3D and higher dimensional realities. And that is why there's most important structures on these specific portal points, whether they're man-made or structures that the earth has created. It was by divine design to help support the harmony of the planet and to support all the beings on the planet, whether human, animal, insect, whatever it is on the planet, bacteria, mold, fungus, all of it is consciousness. All of it has consciousness. And it is all a web of intermingling energies that support you in your very existence. It is because of the web of interconnected energies of all consciousness on this planet that allows you to be who you are, that allows you to breathe, to function, to move, to express, to create. And once you come to this realization within every cell of your being, you will not be able to create harm or suffering or distort or disrupt the experience of any consciousness on the planet. Because all consciousness on the planet is divine, whether it is animal or plant or insect or fungus, bacteria, virus, all of it is consciousness. And the only reason it has created suffering and challenge is because of your own distortion. In your own view and perspective of seeing something as destructive or not in union with you, or that it supports you positively. But again, that is all distorted definition, distorted programming, distorted perspective that you have been manipulated to believe. Because if you allowed yourself to come into harmony and to see the interconnectedness of everything on this planet and come into alignment with yourself, you create harmony with all consciousness on the planet. So then, as we had explained before, you will then create an experience of harmony with all. Even though even your neighbor across the street may be living through a completely different reality, still filled with disharmony and challenge and pain and anger and distortion. But if you could be completely unimpacted by these realities that are right in front of you. You would have no idea. And that's why we should never assume or compare or think we know, because everyone is living in their own reality, in their own truth. And most of the time, we do not have a deep enough perspective to truly understand. And that is why we must always approach and come from a place of higher knowing that everyone is divine in who they are right now. They are divine expression of all that is, no matter how they are appearing. And it is only through their own distortion that they may be living or expressing themselves in ways that are causing conflict or challenge or suffering to themselves or others. And as long as you maintain your openness and your connection to all that is, you can instantaneously create miracles and create solutions, or to shift the environment, or to open up a new path or new opportunity to not have to experience the density of something that is creating challenge or conflict for you. The only reason challenge and conflict arise for you is, for one, to mirror back to you that you have to come back more into alignment, and also to get yourself out of your mind and out of the doingness of what you've been programmed to believe, that you are all about doingness. But in reality, the truth, again, we're going to use truth in quotes, is you just need to be to be. It's about beingness. And allowing whatever feelings come up or whatever fear to come up, but just to understand and relate to it in a way of love and compassion. And knowing that this isn't truly who you are. And that is when these experiences will be more brief and they will come up less. And you will have less and less of these interactions with people that create challenge and suffering and pain. And you will magnetize and align with more experiences that bring you connection and joy and collaboration and flexibility and freedom and authenticity and bliss and expansion and wealth. All of these things. And if you haven't experienced these yet as you would like, you are here at the precipice of opening up a reality that you will experience these more and more and more. We are connected to all of you. We are here for all of you. And we send our love. And whenever you need information, miracles, support, all you have to do is connect and be open and surrender and allow the unfoldment of all that you wish and need.